Look at all that green lushness. Hello, good day and welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Mafinda. And on today's show, we're going to be showing you some triumphs and we're going to be showing you some tragedies. We've had some victims of the sun. Giver of life, the sun, isn't it? But not this last week. It's been ferocious. It's been too hot for my cucumbers and my tomatoes. I've only got one left. I'll show you. So we'll start off in the Lady Farmer's Tiki Tunnel 2, which is the trampoline framed polytunnel. The second one we made, actually. The first one being this one, which I'll show you in a sec. And the second one being this one. Look at what's happened to my cucumber plants. That is purely sun, and I've had the windows open, well, the lifters open, the doors open, the bloody lot. But that's what's happened. I've even left in the volunteer tomato plants that are growing. Reason being, we might get tomatoes in this spot, but we'll see how we get on. But certainly the cucumbers are looking well shot at, aren't they? We're getting some nice ones coming on as well. Until this week, and then the sun has been tremendous in its ferocity. I don't know whether they're going to live or not then. I'm going to water them up again today and see what happens, because we are getting on this one, we're getting some shoots coming up, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough, really. Depends on the temperature, the heat that's coming through. There's no way I can share it out at the moment in here. Anyway, that's what's happened. They were lush and green last week then, looking smart. Anyway, onwards and upwards. So we'll come out of here, go into here. I've just weeded all this as well. There was tons of horses' tails, so I weeded the majority of it. I've got this bit to do yet, but I'll just show you that this plant, this other sun gold plant, sun gold tomato plant, died the death. A ferocious fiery death. That was in there. So I've took that out, and this one's gone bang. I have attempted to take some suckers off and plant them up in here, but I think the temperature's too much. So I'm going to try and look after this one. I'm going to let the suckers grow on, and then support that plant as it gets bigger. Put more staves in, put more canes in, and just support it. These suckers then should produce, as they are producing, more flowers, and therefore the tomatoes. Now, the sun gold, I think, is a F1 variety, and it's a self-pollinator. Fingers crossed. So the one plant should do the job. In fact, we are getting that. We're getting little toms coming on. See, we're getting little tomatoes coming on, hither and dither. So yeah, it's got potential. I'm just going to have to look after that, because that's the only one I've got left. The sun has been punishing this last week, but we are due for heavy rain. So what I've done is I brought out the potato plant that was in here. There was a main crop potato plant in a big bucket in here, one of them 30-litre buckets. That was inside, and it was suffering. So I brought that outside, and the heavy rain hopefully should do the job. I think there's some more tomatoes, but they're not going to do now, I don't think them. They were inside that polytunnel as well, and they were savaged. Well, the heavy rains tonight, it's predicted 100% heavy rain tonight between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock tonight. So that's what we need. You can see there on the tips, and in other locations, it's been scorched by the sun. Okay, the heat is not helping it. So hopefully the rains tonight will do the job. So I brought that outside, and that's the reason why. I've also taken out the bolted pak choy that was in this bed, this cupboard bed. Got to be careful here, because it's a flaming minefield. But there's only me going to get blown up, so I'm not bothered about that. But here we go. So I've just put the purple sprouting broccoli into this bed, and hopefully outside here it's going to be fine. As I say, we're going to get heavy rains tonight. I've just gently watered them into this bed, and we're going to get some results. I think we'll be all right. fingers crossed yet again. These onions are going rampant, and I do believe I might be checking them out. You can wait until they flop over, but what I've done is I've taken off the seed heads from them. As soon as the seed heads come on, the scapes as they're called, come on, I've taken them off, and hopefully it's not going to go right down to the bone, if you like. So that stem tends to go right down as a solid lump in the middle of the onion. You can still eat them, but they're not good for long-term storage. You know what I mean? But they're looking all right, and I think they're going to be taken out because we're going to get 3 days of rain now. And what can happen after that, when you've had the hot spells and the rain, is it's more susceptible then to white rot, like a fungal infection called white rot, and that's no good. So we're going to be taking them out. Same with these ones over here. The shallots have come on. We've actually taken some out, as you can see. We've taken some out that were at the front here, given 3 of them away and kept 4. Ellen's mate came down yesterday, so we gave her a treat. We gave her some onions and some strawberries and stuff like that. So you can see there's a scape at the back. These red ones, Electra these. We've tried Red Baron. These are Electra, which is just a breed of onion. Don't seem to do much for us. We've never had any luck with red onions for some reason. I'm going to have to look into that and see what's what. Usually the white onions, these are this year's onions. So these were planted in March this year from sets. Those were from last year. Those are the Japanese senchu onions, senchu, that you wore for winter. They were done last year, November last year. November the 5th, I think it was. Bonfire night last year. And these are this year's. When you're growing onions from sets, which is like the small onion that they stopped growing last year and you plant them in, the sets don't tend to be as resistant to bolting, which means the scape's coming up. So you tend to get the scapes coming up, the seed pod coming up through the centre stem, and they'll flower eventually. And you'll get seeds from them and stuff like that. But with these, you don't want that. You want them to grow to full fatness, to full fruition, like those ones over there. Anyway, I'm rambling now, aren't I? I've planted these in. So we got some courgettes. I did that last week actually. Made a bit of a depression. Put the courgette plants in and surrounded it with chicken manure pellets, which have been washed in over the last week. And I'll do that again. I'll put chicken manure pellets around it into its little depression, and the water tends to get retained better because they like water. They like a damp condition, but not too damp. It's always a balancing act. But they are a sort of marshy plant, the courgette plant. Do you know what I mean? So the depression helps to retain the water and keep it down near the roots where you want it. But also, if you put the chicken manure pellets around, it washes down into the soil and gives it that nitrogen that it needs to live, thrive and survive. The lady farmer and the kids have been at me peas. Like locusts, they descended yesterday and took loads of them. That one not so much. She's only took about 20 or 30 off that one. But that one they took about 50 off, and we've already had about 50 pods off that. So the remaining pods are fattening up. We may get some more blossom on. Where you get the blossom obviously is where you start your peas off. You start the peas, well, the peas start to come from there. So we have got more. We've got about another 100 peas on that one, and I have got more peas that are on the go, and they're going to be ready for planting, the other peas, in a couple of weeks' time. I've not quite timed it right. Spuds are looking right. Beetroot's looking okay. Couple of areas where the sun's got to them, but not looking too bad. Keep them wet, they'll be alright. Alright, these are good. These are the orange raspberries. These, when they pull off easy, they're ready. No, not quite ready. That we've been at these yesterday. We must have took 100 off it. Here's a couple. Here's a couple. They're ready. Oh, they're intense. the fruity sweetness of those is intense. Trust me, I wish you could taste them with me. It's absolutely lovely. Cauliflower's looking all right. In the long bed. That's broccoli, or calabrese, which we know as broccoli in the shops. Some of these are looking weedy and knackered. That one's probably not going to make the cut, neither's that one. And some of them are sort of flopping over, which is a bit of a worry. However, in this cage, there is no such issue. This is the brassica cage that I built, you remember? And it's absolutely ace. It needs trimming off though. The excess netting. There's my allotment closer. Let's open this up. Not a mark on these, he says. But there isn't. See? It's coming through, the broccoli, the calabrese. It's coming through. Now there's a couple up there. One in particular, which I'll show you from the outside, which is about there, is going to be ready for taking by about Wednesday next week. It's quite big, that. But look at the state of that kale yet again. Unbelievable. This is just standard pointy cabbage, this. Hipsy pointed cabbage. It's heading up now, but they're going to be whoppers, these. And all this has been, in these beds, has been chicken manure pellets and compost. But it's the clover compost, the naughty compost that you're not supposed to use. But we had some left that we acquired. Because I was saving it up last year. Anyway, that's what I filled these beds with, along with the manure. And it was all worked through, the chicken manure pellets. And they're loving it. These plants are absolutely loving it. I've cut one out there, a full plant, and give it to Pam from across the road there. She's took it today. There's my peas coming through. I hope they're not going to get too waterlogged, which is, I fear may be happening. Some more beetroot. Actually, some spinach over there. What the problem is, I've not had a chance to get everything out. So my seed starts are suffering for that. They're like bolting, do you know what I mean? They're getting a bit too crazy. But yeah. I don't want to leave them in there because it's too hot. And outside here, they're just getting too much water, I think. Which is affecting the root. Answers on a postcard. This is looking excellent though, and all the leaf is looking superb. I'll just show you that from outside actually, the two broccoli that are going to be ready next week. Well, I'll be out this within about 2 or 3 weeks. But you can eat the leaf, the stem, the lot of this stuff. I wonder if you can see that okay. There's one there, a good fat broccoli there, calabrese, and a better clearer one you can see there. You see it? I mean, that's already bigger than my face, but the other one is even bigger than that. That's probably not too far away from being. I could probably take that on Wednesday or Thursday, and it'll be a good size, the size of our Bradley's head. That. But all the leaf as well. Take the leaf, chop the leaf. You know, it all eats, and it's all good for you. The stems are actually better phytonutrient wise than the actual head. God, kale, unbelievable, isn't it? Right, this is by far this year my favourite little growing area. It's brilliant. I'm just going to keep an eye on horses' tails and bindweed, but they don't seem to be as prevalent in here. We have got weed in there, but it's not too bad. I've not needed to do too much weeding in there. I'll be honest with you, it's been good. Broad beans, they're coming on. Another week or two. And you pick them from the base and you carry on up, but we are getting the little swines on the top there. These black aphids being tended by the ants. The ants are not attacking them, by the way, boys and girls. They're just licking their bums. They secrete a sugary secretion, the aphids, from their posteriors. But because we don't use any chemical herbicides, pesticides and that kind of thing, insecticides, we just have to cope with it. You can blast them off. I've been looking for ladybirds. I want ladybirds to find them, because the ladybirds will fight off the ants and and eat them. But I'm not seeing too many. That's a natural control for these aphids, these black aphids. But it's not affecting them too much. We're still getting the growth. We're still getting the beans coming on. That's all right, isn't it? These are not looking too spectacular. These butter beans, gigantes butter beans, Greek gigantes. But fingers crossed, you never know. And the spuds are looking okay. We're going to get a downpour tonight. I was going to water these because they're looking a bit wilty. But we're going to get a downpour tonight, so we won't be too bad. I'm going to clip that off as well. See that bramble that's going over? Those are the Charlotte, sort of salady new potato, those ones, the Charlotte. And these are Kestrel in here, which I believe are a second early. I might be wrong. They're not a main cropper. Look at that in there, I'll just prickle my hand a minute. Look at that. Nothing grows better on this plot than weeds, boys and girls. If there was a competition for growing weeds, I'd win every year, look. And I try and keep on top of it. So yeah, that's going to go. The strawberries, again, they were decimated yesterday. We had 4 kids all over these strawberries yesterday. We still managed to take home 2 pounds weight. But they were eating them as they were going. And the ones that weren't ripe yesterday I left on. They ripen very quickly, these. These are all ready now, so I'm going to take some more of these tonight. I don't leave them on, because one, they'll get overripe and they'll start to be squishy. And 2, the birds and slugs will just take them before we get a chance to take them. So I'm going to be getting them tonight. And there we go. There's a few bits and pieces as well to show you. But I just thought to give you a bit of a catch up there, guys. Alright, take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great week. Sunday tonight. Get plenty of rest. Have a nice bath. Why don't you have a nice bath tonight? Get plenty of rest. Ready for the week? I'm going to do that. Listen to the guru. You need it every now and again. A bit of a chill. That's what we're going to be doing tonight. So yeah, take care of yourselves and each other. I'll leave you with the plot in all its green lushness and the cloud cover, which is what we want. We want a big downpour tonight, please God, and we're due one. Right, see you later. Bye bye now. Keep growing with your heads down.